And good morning, everybody, on this fine Tuesday morning, and welcome to today's market intelligence briefing titled "In AI Inside SAP: How Embedded Intelligence is Changing the Enterprise." My name is Steve. I'm going to be your moderator for today. Now, before we begin, a couple of quick housekeeping notes. We got plenty of questions of our own, plenty of questions from the audience. However, if you do have any questions, do please drop them in the chat at the bottom, and I will endeavor to get to them as soon as I can throughout today's session. So what are we going to be covering? Well, today the briefing explores how SAP's latest SAP Cloud ERP releases, built on S/4HANA Cloud, are introducing embedded AI, Joule-powered conversational analytics, and automation that are reshaping what companies can achieve within their ERP. Now, with over 200 AI use cases already available, the technology is transforming customer service, decision making, and operational efficiencies. We're going to hear today from Paul Kruger, GM SAP at NRI, Australia and New Zealand, and Derek Excel, an enterprise software leader advising C-suite executives on SAP Cloud and AI strategy. As for NRI provides end-to-end SAP advisory, licensing, implementation, and local support. Now, welcome, Derek. Welcome, Paul. Look, let's jump straight into it. Let's start with this first one. Whoever wants to take that one, I think maybe Derek for yourself. But what's materially changed in the newest SAP AI releases compared with previous versions? Let's start there.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. The shift is from AI as an add-on to AI as an infrastructure. So SAP's enterprise-grade AI Joule is now embedded across all S/4HANA cloud workflows, meaning intelligence is contextual and action-oriented, not just analytical. There are many discussions today around turning AI stories into deliverables. SAP has now transformed that into 200 use cases live and growing versus the handful of isolated features in earlier releases.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's a good foundation to work from. So where do organizations, Derek, see fast ROI from embedded AI versus bolt-on tools?
Yeah, so from my experience and the feedback I've had from our customers, embedded AI wins on speed to value because it operates on a clean, real-time ERP data without the integration overhead. Areas like accounts payable, automation, demand forecasting, and guided procurement are showing measurable returns within months. So bolt-on tools often stall at the data quality and integration layer before delivering any real value.
Right. Nice. Okay. Well, so how does SAP Joule reshape how finance and operational leaders get answers from the system?
Yeah, so Joule eliminates the need to navigate complex transaction paths. So leaders can ask plain language questions and receive contextualized answers drawn directly from the live ERP data. It effectively compresses what used to be a multi-step reporting exercise into a conversational interaction, making it very easy and more efficient way to produce the data and the information they require.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So which finance workflows are first to benefit from AI automation?
So accounts payable around
Yeah.
cash flow forecast. Sorry, go on.
Oh, go on.
Okay, yeah, accounts payable, cash flow forecasting, and period end close are sort of like the early front runners, given
Yeah.
their high transaction volume and rule-based nature. Anomaly detection in financial postings is also delivering immediate value by flagging errors before they compound, really. So that's one of the key leading factors for immediate action.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And so in terms of so how reliable is predictive maintenance in real operational environments?
So reliability is strong where asset, master data, and IoT sensor integration are mature.
Yeah.
Organizations with clean equipment histories are seeing meaningful reductions in unplanned downtime. The honest caveat is that data quality remains the limiting factor, not the AI itself. So a lot of organizations are realizing that while they're trying to implement their AI models, they're still limited by the quality of the data that they're connecting their AI models to. So we're seeing a big shift into data analytics and modeling transformations to clean the data and get them ready so their AI platforms can really optimize their outcomes.
Yeah, nice. Look, I might pivot to Paul, if I may. And Paul, what governance and risk considerations matter most when activating SAP AI?
So I think like most providers of any sort of AI tool or people developing AI, SAP with their global reach and so many companies using it has to make sure that they've got risk and governance in place or considerations in place that people feel comfortable in using it. So SAP has developed an AI ethics handbook to explain the governance part of it, which is
Mm,
available to all sorts of users and organizations implementing it. But in general, SAP AI requires a human in the loop governance structure. So it doesn't just allow it on the system to do whatever it does and how it wants to go around doing things. Uh, AI should augment, not replace human decision making. That's what SAP believes, and that's how they've developed all their embedded processes. Um, that AI systems further what SAP is saying is that from a data privacy and compliance perspective, must respect privacy. In that case, it requires data masking, making stuff anonymous, ensure that all sensitive business data are processed in the right way. AI also, from an SAP perspective, again, from a governance perspective, it says that, you can't just use documents and grounding certain processes in a certain way without it being authorized or by some human oversight to make sure that it's not just an automated process that happens that nobody has actually verified or approved.
yeah, nice. Okay, some good insights. So, Derek, I'm just going to pivot quickly back to yourself. So what internal capability or readiness is required before switching it on?
Really good question. So clean, well-governed master data is a foundational requirement. AI amplifies what's in your system.
Yeah.
So we've heard this for a long time. So garbage in still means garbage out. Beyond data, you'll need process owners who understand the workflows well enough to validate AI outputs and build team confidence in the technology. Um, you should always have clear governance around where AI is applied and how decisions are approved, particularly for finance, procurement, and of course, customer-facing processes. And finally, organizations need a culture that is open to augmentation. Teams must see AI as a decision support tool rather than a replacement. Otherwise, adoption and value realization will stall. And we've seen it over many years from the rollout of CX, business technology platform as a service, and cloud ERP, where you need to have that full change management approach for these sort of engagements.
Yeah, nice. And Paul, Paul, to you, what misconceptions are still holding executives back from enabling these features in your opinion?
Well, like many others, I also have a lot of misconceptions and ideas and preconceived ideas of what AI can or can't do, right? That I think we're all in the same boat as far as, we're on a journey of understanding exactly when things are going to happen and how it's going to affect the way of doing things. But we in general, people are thinking, well, AI is going to replace all human stuff that people are doing. There's always the question that comes up, Are we ready for it? Can we
Mhm.
expect immediate return on investment? Are we going to replace human expertise? We think it's a turnkey solution. We don't need to do anything else. But in our view, and this is what we hear from customers, partners, other people in the market, is that we've got to
Mm.
try and rather view it as a collaborative tool rather than a human replacement. There's also a misconception that AI, well, at this point in time, who knows what happens tomorrow or next month, but that AI will replace human jobs. Instead of what we're seeing at the moment, it's instead replacing tasks within a job, not a role itself. Um, we also have the perception that AI is fully autonomous. No, and as Derek was just saying in his previous comment, it depends on the data quality, but also the human oversight of that data. Uh, I, we also hear customers saying or thinking that AI is entirely objective and unbiased. We think it learns from the data created by the humans. So I think there's so many things that we learning as we go along. But the main thing that I think that the misconception that's out there is that it's going to replace a total job. Maybe in some cases will replace a big part of the job, but
Yeah.
it's rather if we look at it, the tasks within a job that can be automated, can be replaced, can be innovated, and so on to help the role to function better. Maybe that's an outcome that I think people should rather embrace than to fear that it's going and think that it's going to change the whole world for them immediately. It's a journey that we're all on.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. Derek, so in terms of compliance, what sort of impact does AI have on audit trails and accuracy and compliance?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I just take a step back and think about SAP generally. So SAP is trusted for auditability because it was designed from the outset as a financial and operational system of record with strong
Yeah.
internal controls, detailed audit trails, and of course, full transaction transparency embedded into its core architecture. SAP's embedded AI is no different. It has been designed to enhance auditability, not compromise it. Every AI-assisted action is logged within the same compliance framework as manual transactions. In fact, automated anomaly detection and consistent rule application typically improve accuracy and reduce the compliance risk that comes from manual processing. So further to that, AI also supports stronger governance by continuously monitoring transactions and identifying patterns or exceptions that may not be immediately visible through traditional manual review processes. As a result, organisations can move from reactive compliance to proactive risk management, where potential risks are flagged early and addressed before they impact the financial integrity or regulatory reporting, which is huge for listed entities. In fact,
Mm.
by embedding AI within the same governed environment, SAP ensures that AI recommendations and automated actions remain traceable, explainable, and auditable within the existing control framework. This means organisations can adopt AI capabilities with confidence, knowing the same financial discipline, compliance standards and transparency that underpins SAP today continues to apply into the future.
Yeah, nice. So look, I think we've got time for a few more questions. This one, I'm open to whether Derek or Paul, either of you want to take this one. A couple of questions certainly for me. So what type of decisions can executives realistically expect AI to support or automate within ERP? Who wants to take that one?
Sorry, Steve, I lost you there. Derek, I don't know if you
Ah,
heard the
can
question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. Support. What was that? Sorry.
I was saying, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Can
again.
now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I was saying, what type of decisions can executives realistically expect AI to support or automate within ERP? And That would be my first question. Are you
Well,
able to?
I think within, well, I think I'll have a go at this. I think within SAP with the AI native platform that SAP is moving or shifting from ERP from a system of record to an AI native platform, moving from generative AI chat to autonomous agentic AI. Now,
Yeah.
by saying all of that, it's, the embedding Joule AI across all these modules will help with multi-step workflows, the automation of that. It'll come up with, it's not just going to be conversations to independent planning and tasks, but it could help with end-to-end invoice creation, for example, financial reconciliations. SAP is building in a lot of Joule agents into a number of areas where, let's say, for example, cash management, a cash management agent to automate reconciliations. I think those type of information that you'll get out of the system, out of AI, will help execs to make better decisions timeously and quicker than before.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No.
I don't know
from
if Derek wants to add to that, but
yeah,
that's
I was
what
going to
I'm
say
thinking.
from a high level, if I understand the question as well, in other areas you can look at like the strategic alignment. It'll allow you to make decisions faster with better, more accurate information from mapping out the different actions within an organisation through their different lines of business. Data governance and quality, which we touched on, it'll allow you to really look at who the process owners are and how to validate the AI outputs from that environment. It's key to know that. Change management and adoptions, it'll help them with change management and adoption. And right across the board, investment, resource allocation, performance metrics, risk management, there's many areas it can assist with. You just need to build the right agents to support that environment or give them an
Yeah.
environment. If you look at the change at the moment where we've gone from a graphic user interface to a Fury interface, which is an SAP term for how they operate, to an SAP Joule or an AI interface, which is agent-driven. We've been on a journey of functionality across the SAP ecosystem now for many years, really now to having SAP also almost be like your system admin or your support agent that's working with you on your business rather than being a tool you need to push.
Yeah, no, wonderful. And just to add to that, I guess as a side step to that is, so how does, and for those thinking maybe about, because there's a lot of external tools being layered onto ERP systems, for example, right? Like in a plug gap, stop gap. So how does, just maybe shine a light on how SAP's embedded AI compares with any external AI tools trying to be slapped onto ERP systems?
Yeah, so I mentioned that earlier. The key aspect for any sort of AI embedded application, specifically, Joule within the S/4HANA environment, is that it is quick to value because it's already in place. The governance is in place and the frameworks are ready to go. The
Yeah.
external tools really have that restriction to operate because of the governance frameworks that need to be put in place. And of course, not only that, the integration layer and then internal controls as well. So you need to make sure that certain profiles and users can use the system while others don't have access to that sort of information, which can limit the time to value for external tools.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, good. Thanks for that. Just we've got time for maybe one more question. I might pose this final question to Paul. Um, what does SAP's AI roadmap suggest about the next 12 to 14 months for ERP modernization? If you can just summarize that, we'll wrap up there.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Steve. I think I've touched a little bit on that on the previous comments that I've made, but as you said, SAP is creating all these specialized agents by early this year that they will be releasing to help with independent conversation, beyond just a little thing that you can do it here or there. They will try to make it more autonomous in the sense of that, as I said, like for example, a cash management agent that can help with reconciliations. How do you plan your supply chain, the logistics around it? How do you, for example, compare your payslip from last month with this month? What is the change and where did the change come from? They the key thing is here, as I said before, is that they're shifting ERP from a system of record to an AI native platform, and moving away from generative AI chat to autonomous agentic AI. I think that's the key, where with Joule AI across all the modules, and if the data quality is good and the core is clean, it will just help to speed up a lot of things. But SAP is keep on building. As I said, who knows what I announce tomorrow or next month or so on, but they're on a journey and they keep on improving on where they're going with their AI embedded processes and what Joule can or can't do. For example, just one other thing is that for an ABAP developer, Joule will be able to help developers to do allows for automated code conversations in generation, helps to transition custom legacy code to clean core stuff. So it's all going in the right direction from a business improvement, business process improvement, and value perspective in the SAP world.
Yeah, nice, beautiful. Well, Paul, thank you very much for your time today. Derek, also very much thank you for your time. I want to take this moment to thank everyone for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We will be reaching out over the next week or two, just to thank you in person, to gather your feedback. And at that stage, if you are looking to talk to the team here, Derek or Paul, or the team here at NRI, we at that time during that call, we can schedule in a conversation. But on that note, I want to thank everyone once again. And on that note, have a wonderful remainder of your day. Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.